Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna. I'm your manifestation coach. All the information for me is below. I coach with emails and audios that are specifically designed to help you achieve your manifestational goals. The reason that's helpful to most people is because with my monthly subscription and 2-week subscription, you get unlimited audios and emails to help you navigate every single day your manifestational progress. And you get to keep the audios that will inspire you. You can listen to them over and over. In addition to that, I offer Zoom meetings 1 hour at a time and phone sessions, okay? 1 hour at a time where we can in detail discuss what it is that you need to discuss. If you have any questions beforehand, so the phone session and the Zoom meetings are separate. They're not included in the unlimited. What's unlimited with the subscription, which is the monthly unlimited audios and emails, or 2-week unlimited audios and emails. The phone sessions and the Zoom meetings are separate. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please email me and please use Cash App. Thank you. So today we're going to discuss how to believe your new story about your SP. Okay, so this obviously goes back to scripting and how you're going to rescript your new story about this person who you want to have a more successful relationship with, even if you're not in contact with them, even if, things went really bad between you two, it really doesn't matter what the circumstances. So the initial idea is, of course, to choose what you're going to script. And I would really spend some time thinking about this, because people usually think that they know what they want, but it has to be very detailed and it has to be specific to your current situation, and you have to spend some time thinking about it and outline it, all of that, down to specific details, because the reason to do that is obvious, because you don't want to leave anything out up to interpretation. And you want to really flesh it out so it's really believable to you. So chances are your relationship with this SP didn't end so well or is not going well. And a lot of the things that you really want to manifest with them, or for them to be a different way, right now seems like completely far-fetched, like totally impossible, right? And even if you were to write it down right now in the most detailed way, chances are that the way you're going to look at this and read it is you're going to tell yourself, yeah, right, like that could happen. Okay, I want you to know that that's where everybody begins. Okay, because in the beginning, yeah, it's going to seem like it's completely impossible. All right. And there's certain things that you're going to have to do for you to start to believe, because the only person that needs to believe the only person that you're trying to convince of this story is you. If you believe it, you're the only person who needs to believe it. If you believe it, it will come true. It would literally come true. Because remember, the universe doesn't have a destiny for you. The universe doesn't have a plan for you, okay? You decide what is going to happen. There is no one definite truth. There is no one definite destiny. Every single moment, without even probably realizing it, you are choosing your destiny. Even the smallest of decisions, even the smallest of feelings decides what actions are you going to act on, and what kind of things are you going to entertain, and all of that creates your life. I mean, literally, like, you're creating this every single second. So it really doesn't matter what it is that you're going to choose to believe, it's going to become reality, no matter how far-fetched it seems to you right now. The only reason it seems to you far-fetched is because you're in the middle of a different reality, which looks different and feels different. Okay, so because this current reality that you're in has nothing to do with the reality that you're creating, it's only natural that in the beginning you're going to feel completely removed from the reality that you're trying to manifest. And so repetition becomes job one, because you cannot really believe something that you don't repeat to yourself. You know, it's like some people say, if you say it enough times, you're going to start to believe it. It's exactly that. If you read it enough times, if you look at it enough times, if you visualize it enough times, it's going to start coming alive. It literally is going to start coming alive. And it's like the placebo, right? So you know about these stories where people take a sugar pill and it's not real medication and it helps them anyway. Why? Because they believed it. So they made something that wasn't true a reality. They made something that wasn't true initially, they made it into truth. So that goes to show you that no matter what you want to write down, no matter what you want to create in your life, even though in the beginning it seems far-fetched, it can literally become word for word your reality. So don't ever take this lightly. Even though in the beginning it doesn't seem like it could be real, really pay attention to what you're going to script and write down, because that is going to be your reality. Universe does not understand sense of humor. Universe is a copying machine. Okay, it will reproduce that reality verbatim. It's scary how that works, but this is just what we're working with here. The other thing that can help you believe in the reality that you're scripting is that, first of all, you can't come up with any configuration that you will come up with, basically, of a reality that you're trying to create next already exists. Okay, in the parallel reality, it exists. It has always existed. It's going on right now. Okay, that movie is playing right now. And the only reason you're not watching that movie of your reality right now is because you're on a different frequency. You're on the frequency of something else that you created before. Now, what is frequency? It's a feeling. It's a feeling correspondent to that reality in which you find yourself right now. A feeling is like a portal. So a certain reality with its components is going to make you feel a certain way, right? If I give you $1,000,000 right now, you're going to feel very different than what you felt like 5 minutes ago when you didn't have $1,000,000. And so that's the feeling that's going to create the $1,000,000 in your life. The feeling is the portal into the other reality that exists on the frequency, not even a millimeter away from you, but you don't see it because it has a different vibration, it has a different feeling. And so this reality exists right now. So if it exists right now, already existing, Name another reality. It's existing too. Name another configuration of your scripting. It exists as well. So you literally cannot come up with anything that doesn't already exist. So the only component that has to come into the alignment for this reality to be experienced by you is you. And that is, you have to really believe that it's going to happen, that it's already happening, and that it's going to be experienced by you. And your only job is for you to believe this reality in, like literally talk yourself into it, believe yourself into it, understand that no configuration of any reality that you can come up with cannot be experienced by you. And one reality has nothing to do with the next. So if in the previous reality your SP was a jerk to you, you can change that. Name an attribute, you can change that. Now, obviously, you have certain things that you love about your SP, that you like about them. And so what I would recommend when you're scripting, work with what you already know is true about your SP that is good, and then stretch it a little bit or a lot. Okay? Take something that you know for a fact is true and stretch it out and make it more evolved. So, if he was, I don't know, really caring of you, now you make him so caring that you're the center of his world, whatever. I'm just coming up with an example off the top of my head. You make something that you observed in that person already, that the seed is there, but it wasn't that developed, and you stretch it out as much as you can. And in this way, you plant the seed of believability into your scripting. So it doesn't completely sound so far-fetched. It just sounds like, yes, you're exaggerating, but at the root of it, there is some truth. Does that make sense? Also, it helps to create complete and radical change. I'm sure you're going to want to change certain things completely about this person. Radical change is easy because remember, we're dealing with parallel realities. So it does not have to make any sense. Okay? Stop trying for it to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. Most of you heard about these examples where, I don't know, one person was in a relationship with one person. A person is in a relationship with one person a certain way. And then they meet somebody else, and they become completely different, unrecognizable to their friends and everything like that. They literally become somebody else because obviously this person influenced them, whoever they're in a relationship with. So radical change is not that far-fetched, and you can play with that idea of, yes, that people can change, but it's not that they change. It's that it's a parallel version of them that already existed and was that way from the get-go. Most of you will remember the movie Matrix, where Neo ends up in the architect's office, and it has all these TV screens around, right? And as he's talking to the architect, when it's his time to answer, you see all these different parallel realities. In one, he's laughing, in the other one, he says something else, in the other one, he says something else. Well, that's the depiction of the parallel versions of one person. So anything exists. I mean, those TV screens, there were many of them, but there were still limited amounts. So now imagine it's unlimited, like completely unlimited. So in some parallel version, you will definitely find the version that is most suitable to you. And what you're going to have to remember throughout this experience is that It's not so much that you've changed them, okay? You're just aligning yourself with that parallel version of them that was already that way. And what's going to blow your mind, it was always that way, like from the get-go, right? And what's going to blow your mind eventually, once you do this long enough, for at least a month, I would say, maybe a couple of months, is that you're going to arrive into that reality where that version exists. You're going to feel it. I mean, I can't really explain it, but you're going to feel the certitude, like 100%, that I'm there. I know it's true. I know they're that way. Okay. And what's going to really blow your mind is that you're going to come to a real profound understanding that you, by being in that parallel reality now that you chose, you can't really see them in any other way anymore. Yeah, you have some distant memories of them being, jerky or whatever, being unpleasant, but even that somehow starts to morph in your mind into, well, they were just angry, or they had a bad day, or something like that. Like, even the memories of you remembering something unpleasant in their character will morph into something that somehow corresponds this new version now. Because by being in that parallel reality, you have to now have different memories as well, right? So by aligning with that new version of reality, of them and that reality, you're becoming in turn somebody different too. Because in order for you to 100% know and be fused with that reality, your memories will change, your perception of them will change. You will feel like that was them this way all along. And whatever difficulties you've had with this person was a misunderstanding, was the circumstances, was whatever, fights, anger, it happens. This is how it will feel for you. And one last time, I want to reemphasize that the universe does not care what you create, as long as it's benevolent, right? Don't wish ill upon others, but it doesn't care what you create, what kind of reality. It already exists. So don't limit yourself with your reasoning mind, what could be possible and what could not be possible. Everything is possible, okay? When you really open your mind this way, open it up so much that you allow even the most magnificent version that you can imagine right now of your SP does exist, but an even more magnificent version exists of them. And the universe will most definitely top your description of that person, top your scripting, and top everything if you allow it, right? So always leave the room for saying, okay, this, but I'm open to even more, like much more magnificent stuff. If throughout the day you start doubting it and remembering the old story, just remind yourself that you are in transition from one parallel reality to the new, and reverse the thoughts and say, no, they're a different version now. They're a different version now, and that's who they've been all along. And that's my reality now. And this will, like, throughout the day, if you keep reminding yourself of what you're doing and your journey, you will stick with it. Even on the toughest day, you will still remember, this is the work I'm doing. It's natural if doubts come up. It's natural if like bad thoughts come up. I just have to push through this transition from one reality to the next. And before you know it, you're going to be there. Thank you so much for listening. All the information again is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.